instead, as long as you don't plan on overclocking. The A320MA used here is also a pretty decent entry-level board as well, which according to MSI will even support Ryzen 9 processors. Probably not the best idea for the sake of the VRA temperatures, but there we go, I can't tell you not to do it. So Alex78037813 has found my secret go-to CEX source for their system, which features a GTX 1050 Ti.
Hallo dames en heren, ik weet niet of je al geconnect is, maar hier is het nieuwe stream alweer. Live met de trust. Fuck. Random gaming HD video. Ik ben wel proberen om een speakertje op te blazen, jongens. Ik moet even mijn cassette pakken dan. Stekkie voor die panna, meer. Stekkie voor die warm, leren. Especially handy if you're in the midst of a graphics card upgrade, because you can still use the integrated graphics to play games. As well as options are there in the upgrade devices, you can plan on making some changes, and before adding more RAM, eat that shit for second. Woo! Stekkie voor die para, ja. Stekkie voor je houtmoeder.
And probably provide the biggest difference in terms of performance. It's always awesome to hear as well that someone has switched Xbox to PC gaming. So welcome to the world of PC gaming.
Oh.
Honestly, it is a really great one. We're going a little bit old now with Pika Blue and their custom build, which also features a couple of little homemade modifications. I say modifications, but well, let's get into it. The first of which is an old AMD CPU fan that has been blue tacked on to the side panel. It's a simple but effective cost-saving tweak. We've also got a portable fan from Poundland stuck on the back of the GPU, which is a Gigabyte WinForce GTX 560. Now, if you're not from Poundland, it's nothing dirty. It's just it's a £1 store here in the UK where you can find everything. Well, you guessed it, for £1. They do all sorts of. Well, honestly, you can find some pretty good stuff in there. So, yeah, obviously, this portable fan was £1 and £1. Well, you can't sniff at that. Now, the aging card, the aging GTX 560 is one of the better models. So, add to this a mix of quad-core Athlon 640, 6 gigs of
There we go.
And I quote a burn your house.
Sterker ligt hier boven nu.
An interesting retro gaming rig with some mentionable tweaks.
Hier zo.
As well. I've got to think for those chunky heat sinks. The best thing about this system has to be the picture you've shown in its natural state. It's sitting on top of the Tesco catalogue. Tesco, again, if you're not from the UK, is a big chain supermarket. The X4 640 could probably handle a slightly faster graphics card, to be honest. It's from 2010, so it's aged better than some dual-core chips from that period. And I recall seeing a Bill's Computer Lab video about it, where it was running games like The Witcher 3 and...
I know. Als je de stukje van de standaard voorbeeld, maar... Dat ga ik nu niet meer klootzakken, jongens.
Inside 4B's Cooler Master 693 case is a combination of an i7-4790, 16 gigs of Kingston RAM and an 8 gig RX 580. The CM690 is a personal favourite case of mine. They're solid and spacious and look good in black and white. The i7-4790 is also a very nice chip even today and is often avoided by second-hand builders. In fact,
hij is wel verbonden.
Despite this, the standard chip is just as good if you don't plan on over.
Oké dan. Samsung J3 2016 of 17. Ga vooral in de comments zeggen wat voor OLED's.
Is nice enough. The cooling looks sufficient, and overall, this strikes me as a very well balanced system. One of the i7 chips
Just a live stream, hoor. Ah! Jezus, jongens.
Fast forward a month, and they've ended up with an overhauled system that really looks incredible. It's based around a very capable but often well-priced Xeon.
Nou, dat is mijn livestream, jongens.
Which
Sorry voor de hoge pakking pieptonen. Dat was heel irritant. I know, dat is echt heel
old Xeons really good, but
I back my
when they're
phone.
overclocked, that they're even better, especially with 6 cores and 12 threads. The black interior of this case looks fantastic with just the lighting of the ballistics tactical trace of memory shining through. Xeon PCs are always fun to play with and can be cheaper to build if you can find a well-priced motherboard. Sometimes that is the trouble. Never overlook old Xeons if you're looking to get a lot of people think. Despite the old architecture, comparing to the 570, it's still pretty good. And I'm not trying to say you need to upgrade the GPU before. So Stefan Ackerman, the main body from 6 they're very powerful abilities and three something about these machines is creepy. The lights are on the bottom of the glass on the second side. Let's move on to the spec. Now, this system started off with an Intel i7-8800K CPU at the center of it,
Oh, ik kan nu ruiken, jongens. Oh. Ik begon een beetje te kraken, jongens. Ik denk dat het hier is. Oh, volgens mij is dood.
Swapped out for an XFX RX 580. A graphics card that still seems to be popular in
Denk
rightly so, because for 1080p gaming is still
ik denk dat hij dood is, jongens.
Thank you to everyone who submitted them, who I haven't got back to as well. I'm working through them as always, but if you'd like to submit
What the fuck?
Twitter.
Ja, die is duidelijk opgemaakt. Nice!
Back on Twitter now. A break from it was good, not a while, but I'm on there most days just looking at all of the things you sent me.
We zijn niet zat, dit is nu klaar. Kijk de ballen uit en middelvinger voor die huizenlijn.
Leave a dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Wij hebben de beste draadloze speaker voor jou. Vandaag besteld. Muziek luisteren. Ja, met Lavana kan je elke maand gratis abonnement aanpassen. Doei! Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now first of all, please don't tell you about the moustache, I have to mention it. Actually, it got to the point where it was so neat that I was chewing it as part of any food I ate. So yes, I know that the Random Gaming PhD moustache Twitter page will be deeply disappointed, but I am letting it go back in. I'm just going to keep it a bit neater as it comes back. So the moustache will be back. It seems an odd way to start a video, but there were quite a lot of people concerned with my facial hair, but today, let's get into it because we are taking or we are taking a look, I should say, rather at more of your gaming tricks. So first of all, here we have a build from Mr. Sammy, 1998. Now they've sent me their i5-8400 rig. This is combined with a 5700 XT. And they say this used to be a pre-built. The graphics card has been changed along with the power supply. It now has a CX750M inside this thing and some weird cooler, as they put it. I personally quite like the look of that. It's a good looking PC. And the i5-8400 and 5700 XT is a good combination. A lot of people overlook the i5, especially now. And the release of
de huizenlijn, we zijn het zat, dit is goed klaar. Kijk de ballen uit, de middelvinger voor die huizenlijn.
Very nice looking rig now. This features a Ryzen 5 6600AF.
Ik ben benieuwd of dit nog werkt, jongens. Een van deze speakers.
This also has a B450 Pro VDH Max motherboard, a 240 gig SSD, 1 terabyte HDD, and 16 gigs of 3200 megahertz.
Nope, die is dood aan bier.
DDR4.
Deze, wat is dit? E-stack woofer, 4 ohm 5 watt.
Now you don't really see
Ja,
people using the 980 Ti these days. It's still very much a nice GPU. It can be found at a reasonable.
Nog een E-stack woofer, 5 ohm.
Where it stands in terms of the general hierarchy of things.
Die doet het niet meer.
Between the 1060
Dit woofertje.
1070, but for 1080p gaming, it still puts up one hell of a fight. Now, we have a little update here. We sold the 980 Ti for €174, and all the 5600 for 100.
Kijk, die doet het toch? Oké. Oké dan.
What the difference would be between these two cars, but it's not quite a nice one. I still haven't checked out yet, and I really want to do so.
Hell yeah. And here I'm blah, sure I know where Zo, ik probeer om een ding te bouwen, subwoofer. Ik ga wel even de lichtjes omhoog doen, jongens. Sorry voor de reflecties, maar ik ga even de lampje omhoog doen. Daar gaan we. Dit is een Philips. Jezus, zo.
Now, from the looks of it, oh yes, this used to be, or it still is, a Lenovo E72 pre-built with some person.
5 ohm, 8 watt.
Those old Lenovo.
Nee, 8 ohm.
Very good. Very plain looking, but
5 watt.
nice, simple design in my opinion. What I would suggest here is that the PC could do with a rear fan. I know if you haven't got a rear fan on the case there, at the front of the PC, if there's any motherboard headers available, to plug a couple of front fans in, that would be a good idea too. But a rear fan there and an exhaust fan would definitely be a good idea just to help with the heat dissipation and stuff. Next up, we've got a rig from R__B__B______. Yeah, we've got a few systems here. The first one is an Acer 1080p projector alongside an MSI pre-built that they panic bought when they bricked their Alienware 17 updating the BIOS. That is everyone's worst nightmare, but they later fixed it a week later. The specs of this machine on i5-9400, very good chip.
Moet ik even iets open smashen op een
So
they can pakken voor de koning.
A weird proprietary manual that is unfortunately the case with it happens. We've got 16 inches of DDR4 in here, 250 gig M.1 terabyte hard drive. Look at the palette
Maar die CD ga ik niet meer gebruiken.
There's also a 300
de shit CD naam.
That is a little bit concerning. It doesn't look like it will be enough to power that rig, and I certainly consider updating that, although it might be troublesome if the motherboard is proprietary, like a proprietary connector. Can't really see from the photos properly, but yeah, they say they've run a few tests here, and it seems to be handling everything just fine, but it seems a little low to me, 350 watts, but if it's working, it's working. Yeah, I would just see if you can upgrade it though, to be honest, because it does seem
Kijk, de hoeven doet het gewoon.
I've also got a couple of Alienware laptops at the bottom here. Alienware laptops I absolutely love them. We've tested a couple of channel before. They might not hold up their weight, but they can go to the best. The first one is a 9-year-old M11X with a i7 GT540 SSD. They've just renewed the
It's not like a full best.
See, sometimes it can be as simple as that. The second one is a 6-year-old Alienware 17 R2 with an i7-4980HQ, the GTX 980M, and 16 gigabytes. Now, I'd imagine that combination would certainly perform a little better, but both of those are pretty good looking laptops. And I like that build. My eyesight is terrible. It looks lovely. The old shit, of course. You have to put the description of your goal in the description. Now we have something from Brandon _Brandon here. This is a $200 PC. It's Liz Brothers PC, so $200 for a PC, so I helped him out a little bit. Added $100 to his budget and built this for $300. That's very nice of you, and it runs pretty well. What do you think? An i5 4670K with a 3 gig 1060 and 16 gigs of memory. I think that's a pretty good looking build there, to be honest. Again, I would suggest adding an exhaust fan to this system. You've got 2 fans at the front, which is good. Add the exhaust fan there, just to get that air running all the way through. But aside from that, 4670K and 1060.
Ik weet niet of jullie dat op een microfoon kunnen horen, maar ik denk dat ze weer best wel laag gaan.
That's a pretty nice combo. Alright, so on to some Twitter submissions now. The first one is from Janko Gesh18. I apologise for the pronunciation of any of your usernames that I get horribly wrong, but we have a nice looking setup here. I especially like the Minecraft Xbox you've got going on there too. The specs are here, an AMD Phenom X4965. Don't see many people using them, and I still very much admire those old school chips. I tested one a while ago and found that they can still handle.
Ja, mijn nieuwe Optiplex ook een Core 2 Duo, alleen die zit in een nieuwe frame.
This is paired with an RX frequency, nice choice.
Deze Optiplex 755 heeft een low form factor ding. Dat betekent dat je er geen grote videokaart in kan stoppen. En nieuwe dingen. Dat zijn monitoren. En daar kan je wel dingen stoppen.
In case you do run into any issues with games, I think that's what would have to be done, to be honest, in order to get better performance. But yeah, it's a nice combination. Looks pretty good looking case there. And they've said it's used for games like Team Fortress 2, The Witcher 3, and Minecraft. So, you know, if your specs run the games that you want to play, then that's absolutely fine. If you've got a certain game in mind, there's no need to upgrade. Alright, next up we have a submission from someone's username that I can't actually say because this video will probably get demonetized and just disappear. It's basically the C word and then Stantin is the username. When I accepted the request, I never read the usernames first of all. Again, I was like, oh, okay, so yeah. Hello, roast my rig. Now immediately it's obvious what the problem is here. You probably shouldn't mount your cooler like this. The cooler is mounted on the wrong side, only held in place by 2 screws, which I could only remove with a plier because they're too worn out. No SSDs, 2 HDDs, one of them is 11 years old, 3 sticks of RAM, again, not advisable. 2 sticks of RAM in dual channel is always the best way to go. But the specs are actually pretty good. You've got an i5-8400 with a 1060 in there,
Hier komt het beste gedeelte in een CD. Om de kool mooi zwaar te maken. Oude hardcore CD. Niet hardcore. Rated hits of 94. Het zijn niet echt hits. Kut CD jongens. Dit zo bij te zien.
Sorting that round out, but you've got necessary intake and exhaust fans there, so yeah, a few things to fix there, but
Ik kan trouwens niet reageren op comments.
Here comes from Bravano Gabriel. Apologies again for any
Stream via de Restream Neo service.
Now this system first consisted of a Pentium G3240 and a GTX 1063 gig card. Now it says further down here that the bottleneck caused by the Pentium was quite significant, but they did find it used i3-4170 for 30 USD, which is pretty good, to be honest. They've said themselves they're still but I can imagine that that would make some serious improvements to the overall performance in terms of gaming, because I can imagine the Pentium was causing some stutter here and there. The i3 might do the same, but it will certainly be a welcome improvement. In the future, 4690 or 4770, what do you think? Well, if you have the budget.
Trendy meubels voor ontzettend lage prijzen en gratis thuisbezorgd. Shop nu op vierdaaghelp.nl. Groots leven voor weinig.
Budget, the i7 and goes that the 4 cores and 8 threads will certainly help out in a lot of games, but the i5 4690 still puts up a strong fight. Now in some titles you may see a couple of issues because of the 4 threads, but yeah, I'm glad to see you've upgraded from that Pentium in that build. I'd also turn that rear exhaust fan around with the X pan facing the back, that way it acts as an exhaust fan rather than an air intake. Alright, so now we have something from Under Zero Twitch. Now they have sent me their i5 2500 rig with a GT 730. Now this is a Dell Optiplex that they won in an auction along with the 1030. In fact, paid 20 Australian dollars for it. The monitor I got for free after my parents stopped using it. That's pretty good. It's a 1080p 60Hz monitor. Now this is another good example of a PC that suits a person's requirements. You know, it's not the best spec PC in the world, but they said here they just make older titles mainly and visual novels, so it gets the job done. It's a person's requirements. You know, it's not the best spec PC in the world, but they said here they just play older titles mainly and visual novels, so it gets the job done, and that's what PC gaming is all about. If you have a build that can play everything you want to play, then there's no problem with that. They also said here that they bought the cheapest keyboard and mouse they could at Officeworks. Don't worry about it, because as you know, we're still rocking the Dell mouse here as well. Very ergonomically comfortable, the Dell mouse. Melona 11 sent me the Pentium 4 rig. It's a Pentium 4 clocked at 3.2 GHz with a whopping 1 GB of RAM. And as for the GPU, it has integrated graphics. I suppose they're Intel GMA graphics, motherboard graphics, because the Pentium 4s, as far as I remember, don't have integrated graphics themselves. Now, they put that Counter-Strike 1.6 runs at 30 FPS without any problems, which is quite surprising. But again, if it plays that game and that's the game you want to play, then that's fine. As for the storage, I've got an 80 GB Samsung hard drive, which is enough for Windows 7 and a couple of ancient games. There we go. Here is a photo of the bad boy. Very nice. If you wanted to add a graphics card, you could probably add something older, like a 9600 GT, and play some of those old school games with a few more frames. This picture's a little concerning, but apart from that, yeah, there we go. And thank you very much for watching. I really wanted to squeeze this video in here today because I promised that I'd try and do one of these videos every month. It is the 31st of May, so we were cutting it close. But yeah, I've been so busy with a few different projects. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys are staying safe out there during these times. As always, connect your rigs to Twitter, Technology and HD or Instagram with the same username. And hopefully I'll try and get through all of them. If I've seen yours before and I haven't mentioned it, or you've sent it before and I haven't mentioned it, then send it again because I'm trying to get through.
Life is all about the food you eat and the company you keep. Like your eggs for any and every occasion. And share the love for green. Optiplex is rattling away on the side. That's dope. Volgende week als ik die andere Optiplex heb, wil zo'n gaan we natuurlijk een live review doen, jongen. Ja. Het staat op de site dat er i3 is, maar ik bedoel een kort review, maar lijkt al in iedere video staat erop dat het i5 is, dus ik hoop dat het i5 laat van een kort review ook. Begrijpelijk even. Jezus, die pixels zijn erg. Ik ga hopen dat die lichtje misschien helpt met de pixels te verminderen. Niet echt, maar wel. Ik ga dit lichtje doen, nee, deze. Ah, kan het hierop staan? Sowieso vol aan meedoen. Oh ja. Dit is mijn oude Akai boombox die ik viel. Heb ik van de week gesmashed, want dat deed het ineens niet meer. Kut Akai boombox. Kut jongens. Oh, hier kan ik. Ja, wel overbelicht, alleen maar door het meer lucht.
I absolutely love this case from Archie Taylor here. This sort of
yeah.
case that actually is an old Alienware case or not. It looks like, I think it's just Alienware style, but I also like that sort of
oh, ik word letterlijk aan de andere kant van de tafel. Hé, maar heel erg in de tank, jongens. Mijn camera is nogal... Ja. Geweldig. Laten we daar houden.
Without the GPU for free off the floor that was being refurbished and had no use for the PC anymore. Got the 550 Ti off the frame that upgraded a while back. Been using it for a couple of years, and unfortunately in November the power supply blew up and has been waiting on a new one since January. You know, I like that basic case there. I love these sort of stories where people find PCs for free or next to nothing when they upgrade them. You know, that is what budget PC gaming is all about. Finding a cheap rig that costs you very little and still gives you...
Nou, dit is de sub. De sub is klaar, denk ik. Oh, god. Ah, dat is een stuk beter belicht in ieder geval.
Everyone's happy. Now, Tyler_say_, again, for G4 pronunciation here, sent me his old Fujitsu PC. Now, I've been trying to get hold of one of these for ages. I love the look of these cases. Absolutely.
Ja, ik krijg ook een Fujitsu met een Fujitsu PC. Ik weet niet hoe je dat uitspreekt met een Core i3.
Fujitsu pre-build, I had to cut a bit of the side of the case to fit the RX 580 in, and it just about fits.
Weer 4,5 batterijen. Half opgeladen of zo.
Because I just can't help looking these up. I really do enjoy the aesthetics of these older machines. You have a great tasting pre-build. Next up, we've got DZen.NJDAC. The sensing is R53570 really well. 12 gigs DDR3, a 3 gig 1060, 2 500 gig hard drive, a 60 gig SSD, and a 400 watt Corsair PSU. I love the new black setup here. The inside of the case looks fantastic as well. Nice cable management going on there. Far better than I've ever managed. I don't know how people get their PC so neat. I think, I'm going to keep the cables neat, and then next thing you know, I look at it, cables all over the place. An old RGB mouse used to light up the case, speed port. Now that is an imaginative technique. You know me, I'm on for subtle looking systems, and I do appreciate that all black case. And the RGB mouse is just incredible. Now, Alex GH696 is sending their RX 550 with a Ryzen 3 with 1300X or 3.5 GHz and 8 gigs of DDR4 single channel RAM. Thinking of upgrading to an RX 570, that would be a good upgrade to CPU. You might find that the CPU will need an upgrade
Ik
well. I also recommend dual channel memory. And considering you're on the Ryzen platform already, well, you've got a ton of options should you want to upgrade that Ryzen 3 1300X as well. Alright, next up we have a system from @DJTL.
Je ding beweegt dat fucking aanpast.
I'm here to claim the worst PC build for 2020. They have a Corsair Quad 8400, a Corsair Duo, that's already a nice upgrade. A GAG31N ES2L motherboard, I think that's a gigabyte board, 4 gigs of DDR2 RAM, and a case that comes with a 600 watt PSU. I think it can only provide 230 watts, an 80 gig HDD from Seagate, and a WD.
Ja jongens, dit is een heel goedkoop speaker.
Couldn't be connected directly to the board. Instead, I have to buy a PCI adapter card for it. No graphics card, integrated graphics provided with the J port. That's for reading. You know what? Upgrade the RAM to 8 GB. Slap a cheap discrete GPU in there. Maybe a 750 Ti that doesn't even require a 6-pin power connector, and you'll be able to play some games. Yes, believe me, I don't think that's the worst PC build for 2020. I have seen some pretty interesting examples.
Dit is de vaderland. Nee, jezus, die komt toch even hoor.
Workstation PC. We've got an X5687, a 4-core 8-threaded CPU. The old Xeons are incredible. 24 gigs of DDR3, a GTX 970, 500 gig SSD with a ton of other hard drives as well, and a custom Dell CPU board with 8 fans. I absolutely love these old workstations. They're a great way to get into budget gaming. You can buy them on places like eBay for pretty good money. Slap a graphics card in there because they've usually got pretty beefy PSUs as well. We've also got a custom office chair here. I thought I'd show you that because that's actually a pretty nice looking chair.
Zo kun je horen hoe hij niet distort.
That was reinvented. Okay, underscore the big brain 5 here has sent me their setup. Looks like an old ASAP system there.
Hij beweegt gewoon niet meer. Dat is het een beetje. Hij is niet opgeladen.
Now they want to know what components they should upgrade here. Here's my setup. Can you tell me what I should upgrade? Spectre i5 650, 3.2 GHz with integrated graphics and 1333 MHz DDR3. Well, the i5 650, I believe, has 4 cores and 4 threads. Let me quickly look that up. No, sorry, it has 2 cores and 4 threads, but the i5 750, which you can have for a couple of pounds or dollars or euros these days, has 4 cores and 4 threads, so that might be a nice upgrade immediately.
Dat is alleen met de distorter. Nou komt ie hoor.
Any power like that doesn't require a power connector, and we've seen some pretty good frame rates in certain games. I think I made an i5 750 PC build a couple of years ago now, and I ran a few games on that. So if you want to check that out, you can go back through the other videos, and that'll be on there somewhere. But slap a low power discrete GPU in there. It should be good to go.
Hoop dat je dat kon horen.
RBX_Jackson View. Now we have the ASRock A320 HDZ motherboard in here, as well as suddenly developed a list for some reason. We have an AMD Athlon 200GE with an RX 460, 8 gigs.
Dat ding maakt een open geluid gewoon.
SSD and 2 terabyte hard drive.
Hij zit echt compleet vast van in een sneed. Niet eens.
Usually, I'm not a fan of extremely bright light, but I do like the blue look of the system. I think the 200GE as well is a fantastic chip for the money. Of course, now the 3000G might make a little more sense, but paired with the 460, and you've got yourself a decent budget combination. Again, maybe add a second stick of DDR4 in there, just to run things in dual channel mode, a little bump in performance. But aside from that, it's a very respectable build, and I absolutely love the cheap AMD Athlon. Okay, next up we have a rig from JTK4849 or Wolfpair. I built this setup in early 2017, a Dell Optiplex 3010, which now is in a desperate need of upgrade and almost zero upgrade path. I think you can probably slap an i7 in those, to be honest. It has an i5-3470 at the moment, so I presume you can slap an i7 in there just fine. You've already upgraded the PSUIC, so that should be no problem. A GTX 1050 Ti SSC, which is 30% GPU, 70% plastic. Yeah, they do sometimes overdo it with the coolers on them 1050 Ti's. Also from B-Stock, BBCA has this B-Stock thing, which is like factory refurbished for a lower price than retail. I will definitely check that out. We also got the generic keyboard and the generic Dell mouse as well. Sometimes I like to mix it up a bit, treat myself to the ergonomic feel of a traditional stock Dell mouse. Okay, so now we have them from @mob_dusty. Now, a little bit DIY has gone into this, and I absolutely love to see it. A while back,
Ik kan hem niet opblazen, hij klinkt compleet op strop, man.
Horizon 4. We started with an old HP pre-built, but it simply wasn't cutting it. We ended up with this, and it's used to be able to buy any motherboard, i5-4460, like those chips we sound like there, and 8 gigs of DDR3, mostly hard because they use the GTX 760 that had dead bands, but they swapped for a case band. Pretty cool. Yeah, I absolutely love DIY projects like this, making something out of just bits, you know, doing anything necessary in order to get the working rig from other totally, you know, ruined parts or parts that.
Dus ja, jongens, ga snel abonneren op mijn kanaal en doe ook even een duimpje.
2600, great CPU's that can be had for surprisingly cheap now. An RX 570, 8 gigs of DDR3, as well as a ton of storage. Okay, we've also got a Dell U2412